Mongrel mob, just the very name conjures up mostly negative energy, but the Part1 chapter based in the Waikato are making changes. A recent shooting of one of their members, Kevin Ratana Castro, has caused the chapter to challenge the notion of dying for the cause, as Pōtaka Maipi discovers in this exclusive.
One of Aotearoa's largest and most feared, the Mongrel mob kingdom, are speaking out.
It's about time that we do talk, because so many things are going on. There are major concerns that need to be addressed, and we can't do that on a silent voice. But it's also to encourage others to talk. I've had the privilege and the honour to meet a variety of rangatiras from different organisations who are very intelligent, just as intelligent as myself, and but very shy, very whakamā to come out and to be open. And perhaps by me voicing my whakaaro will encourage them to do the same.
This is history in the making, the Mongrel mob kingdom tackling issues front on. The hui has been called by the kingdom's chief, Part1, with the black power, not to fight, but to talk peace. Never has there been access to a gathering like this, and rarely will a meeting of the two oldest and largest rival patches ever taken place.
I feel that this is a time, where people are really starting to think about, making changes, and however that's going to look. So I'm pretty happy and optimistic that something great will come out of this one. People have to accept that, even people like ourselves can make changes. And there have been changes that have been going on for some time. Kingdoms didn't just pop up overnight. It's over about 30 plus years, going through what we went through, understanding why we went through that stuff, looking beyond just our own needs, and looking to a better future for those who will be following in our footsteps. For me, it's about showing and encouraging, especially our young men, how to go about making productive and constructive and positive changes to the best of your ability. And I know there'll be a whole lot of people who will ridicule this, who will judge it. But for me, that's them having to work on themselves too, because they can't grasp that things can change. If you have an open heart and an open mind, then you will see things you never thought were there.
Do we still continue butting heads like we always have? Not necessarily using us, but Mongrel and black power?
The kingdom don't use the word gang. They believe it's a label given by the colonisers to keep them imprisoned, fighting rivals causing death, and absent from their culture and children. A vicious cycle they want to break.
Well, it's an awakening. Hey, where it came from is that we've seen it happening all the time, but we didn't do anything about it. If we are proclaiming to be men of influence amongst our people, hey, are we going to just turn a blind eye to this? Straight up, So it's just grabbing the bull by the horns and having the courage to be able to say enough is enough. We are going to do something about this. I don't know how many times I've gone to attend funerals and, and very rarely you come across someone that's just passed away because they were sick or was killed in an unfortunate accident. They're suicide. If I can do something, or if good leaders could do something to try and focus on dealing with domestic issues that are going on, the world would be better off.
The Mongrel mob meeting at Parakino Marae north of Whanganui to farewell one of their own. Many travelling from around the country to grieve alongside the whānau of Kevin Castro Ratana. The 27-year-old was shot dead last week.
This hui was motivated by the shooting of one of the Mongrel mob members, Castro. who was alleged to have been shot by rival gang members, the Black Power. Today was not about seeking revenge, but seeking the end to senseless killings.
It was the loss of one of our young aspiring leaders. We had so much to offer, you know. He was a very talented musician. He wanted to do great things. He shared that with me all the time. He wasn't shy to give something a go. And it's sad to see that his life was, you know, cut short under a tragic situation. And so I just felt that, you know, when is this all going to stop? It'll stop if the right things are said and the right actions are taken. When the right leaders are in the right places, miracles can happen. So I want to be able to do whatever I can to try and stop this nonsense killing, you know, happening again in the future.
The decision today has been made. The Mongrel Mob Kingdom will travel to Wanganui to continue talks and stop the utu.
We'll see you soon. Yeah.
See you soon, thank you.
So that's the blacks. So it sounds very optimistic. Sounds like everybody's in a good attitude.
So is this a sign that the Mongrel Mob Kingdom is moving away from violence?
Well, you know, I think we've got to be real, and the violence is always going to be there, you know, but it's trying to reduce it as much as we can.
You don't have to look far to find negative news about both the Mongrel Mob and the Black Power. Today isn't one of those.
Common sense. Yeah. And this is a process that I believe that a lot of our people have done over the years, generations. Come together, kōrero to kōrero, kānui to kānui, rangatira to rangatira, and work it out from there. And we'll see what happens. People only know one way, and that's the hard way. And I guess that people need to understand that there's also an understanding way, the power of kōrero, and to accept the fact that it doesn't take anything away from you in terms of your mana. We've always shown for many decades that the brawn is always there. So this is a time where, you know, knowledge and wisdom comes into play in terms of the quality of your leadership.
The leadership of Part1 has planted a seed of hope. Coming up after the break, the Mongrel Mob are changing, but is society ready for that change?
I think the answer to rehabilitate these people into mainstream society and is accept them as part of society.